Thank you for sharing this with me, Richard. This really brightens my day.
It's true art. I'm telling you, Bill McClintock is a legend. I mean, who thinks to put Slayer and Katrina and the Waves together for chemical warfare? Don't it feel good?
I love Slayer as sort of a poppy sound.
Oh yeah.
It really makes it different.
Oh yes.
It's kind of like, I remember one time this video of where they took, Anyways, they took Metallica songs and put them in the major key, and it just totally changed the vibe of it.
No, another one of my favorite ones is Disney Channel Metal, I think it was called, or something like that, where they literally just take the vocals from it and just put the most royalty-free happy pop trash behind it, and it's like, gosh, I hate this, but it's so wonderful. I don't know. It's
well,
peculiar.
Richard, you had a blog post?
Spicy Vice article.
Yeah, it popped up in your Google suggested feed.
Yeah, because every now and again I'll look at Google for news feed because that's the only way I ever hear news about Tool, which is apparently releasing a new album. So they just recommend all the music and video game news because that's all I ever Google.
Because they're that creepy stalker that likes to bring you stuff. Better known as Google.
Yeah. But so having to do with video games, it's about Overwatch, the hit Blizzard game. I want to know what, I know Vice is very much a left-wing, identitarian, all that kind of nonsense stuff.
They're not left-wing, they're just good people.
You're right. Of course. What was I thinking? But I didn't know it was this bad because this article, the title, "Stop Turning Overwatch Characters into Cops."
Into cops?
Into cops. I want to know,
Now, sorry to interrupt. If I remember correctly, Overwatch is that game where it's not just people in it. Isn't there a gorilla?
Yeah, there's a gorilla and a hamster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, continue with the article. Remember that there's a gorilla and a hamster.
Yes, and that these are a former superhero agency dedicated to saving the world.
Okay.
Keep all this in mind.
Yeah.
So stop turning Overwatch characters into cops with the tagline, "A new skin for Brigitte," which is the one character in this scenario, celebrates police militarization.
One of my favorite subjects.
So in the game, you can have different skins for all the different characters or whatever, like zombies or Santa or whatever, things like that. And some of the characters have police skins. One of the characters has a giant mech, Diva. She has a mech, and on the top of it, it has police sirens. Now, apparently Vice sees this as such a problem that this new Brigitte skin, she has police riot gear on or whatever. And it's first of all, Overwatch, as we mentioned earlier, is all this hero stuff anyway.
They're a hero agency, right?
Yeah.
That has a hamster that's a hero.
And a gorilla.
And a gorilla that's a hero.
Talking gorilla.
Does the hamster talk?
No, but it has a robot that can decode what it's saying.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's in a giant, literal metal hamster ball that pops out with legs and guns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they're fine with the militarization of hamsters.
Yes, of course. Of course. But it's problematic when all the other characters do it. But my favorite thing is with Overwatch, it is also one of the most left-wing identity pandering to that audience anyway.
Yeah.
Because they literally it's controversial consistently because of
gotta get hit clicks.
They kind of Overwatch will they seem to just make characters gay for the bonus points.
Yeah, gay all the things.
Because, like, one character who is, like, the comic that he's revealed to be gay in, it's literally just him and another soldier just standing together in a photo, and, like, they mention that he's gay in the writing. And it's like, or perhaps it was just another comrade in war, and they just wrote him as gay to get people from being angry at them because Blizzard was in hot water at the time. They're like, look, but we have a gay character. So they already have all of this, like, super left-wing, like, pandering to that audience anyway. But it's still a problematic game that the characters, who are heroes,
Right.
have skins to be dressed as cops.
I can't wait for the day when we have, some other victim group or whatever, and it's
The mole people.
yeah. Aren't we up to like 72 genders or something like that?
There's an infinite number of genders.
That's true.
Like, you can invent your own
Yeah.
and identify it legally in California.
Yeah. So if enough of those people complained to Blizzard and said we're not represented, would they have to sort of retcon a character and be like, oh, here's some made up owlkin?
I have no idea. They might. They might. It's like, they literally just throw in character after character saying, oh, yeah, they're this, or this, or this.
See, if I was at Blizzard, what I would do is be like, oh, okay, yeah, this character is gay. It's the hamster.
But my favorite
Because we know
thing
about
is-
hamsters.
Yeah. But my favorite thing is like, the lore is, like, very supplemental to the game. Because, like,
Yeah.
it's a team multiplayer shooter. There's no, like, story within the game, really.
Yeah, because I used to play World of Warcraft. And that had much more of a story with it
Yeah.
that drove the game.
Yes.
Seems like
This
Overwatch
is-
used to run around and kill each other.
Yeah, it's literally like playing Capture the Flag, or Push the Payload, or Capture the Hill.
Or a better one is I used to play League of Legends. And that one, it's just you run around and... Yeah, there's a story to make it interesting. But
Yeah,
it
they
doesn't-
didn't even have a story to start with League. They made it just kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, this game became popular. I guess we'll throw a story.
Yeah, exactly.
But like with this, it's like, I don't know. Blizzard's gotten to be trash for me recently.
It sucks.
Like, 2016 was like peak Blizzard. Like, they had just released Overwatch. It was a fantastic new game. It kind of is now. A lot of their stuff is Like,
Do you think a lot of these gaming companies have, HR departments that are saying, hey, we need diversity in...
I think the problem is they don't have HR. But the other thing is, like, I don't know, Blizzard, like, did you hear about the Diablo new mobile game scandal?
No.
Oh, this was months ago, but they had almost certainly set up, for sure, a new Diablo announcement.
Right.
And everyone was thinking, it's going to be Diablo 4. What
Right.
we've been waiting for. We're so excited. And they're like a day or two or something, like before the event, they're like, guys, tame your expectations, please. And then it turns out it was a Diablo mobile game. And it's like, it wouldn't be as bad if they didn't set up the hype to begin with.
Right.
And like then kind of try to tamper it or try and do all this other nonsense with it. But then the best part is during the Q&A, there were some real gems. Like, one of the questions was asked was, is this an out-of-season April Fool's jokes? Stuff like that. And
See, the nice thing about mobile gaming is it gives console gamers someone to look down on.
yes.
Because he had PC Master Race
Yes.
looking down on console gamers. But now console gamers have someone to look down on.
Of course.
Which is
We can
always
all
nice.
unite as gamers.
Right.
Gamers rise up after all.
Exactly.
But my favorite part about that is the fact that in response to the crowd literally booing this thing,
Oh, man, when they made the announcement, it was booed.
oh, it was booed real bad.
That's harsh.
And like during the Q&A there was booing and stuff, but the best part is to respond to this, the dev on stage goes, "Come on, do you guys not have phones?" It's like, that's not the issue here. This is not the problem.
Yeah.
We want a good new game from you guys because you haven't put out anything recently other than remasters and Overwatch 3 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh.
See, the thing that makes me wonder about inside these game companies, I mean, at the end of the day, this can only be conjecture.
Yeah.
But the whole James Damore Google thing, I mean, all that tech stuff is very similar.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if within these gaming companies, there's internal problems that are hurting their productivity.
There's tons of issues going on at Blizzard because it's Activision Blizzard.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to be saying, like, internally and stuff that, yeah, Activision's putting a little more pressure on Blizzard to do certain things and stuff, which is why a lot of the head execs at Blizzard have left recently. Yeah. So, I don't know.
That's sad.
Yep. But you know what? They're turning them into cops, and that's the real problem. But the other favorite thing is that, like, re-looking up this article today was that Forbes had another article that says Overwatch characters are already cops. Maybe it's time to stop writing ridiculous clickbait articles about them.
It's such a burn, too, because you think of Forbes as, like, your parents.
Yeah.
And then Vice is supposed to be the hip, cool one. But it's like your parent telling you stop writing clickbait articles.
Yeah. It's like when Forbes is on top of it, like, come on.
Yeah, because your parents don't know how gaming works and everything. They're just, playing solitaire on Windows.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Forbes is trying to be a bit more in with it. They're definitely
Hip with the kids.
Yeah.
Like that Steve Buscemi meme.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe not quite that level, but
Okay.
like, yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah.
I mean, you need places that do serious, actual, non-trash stuff like Vice does.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
yeah,
Forbes hasn't been doing that too well, though.
bring in the heat.
Yeah. Regardless, I think we've beaten that to death.
Yeah.
Just like Vice imagines cops doing, I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, man. Vice makes me think of, and other places like Vice makes me think of, like back in the day, Victorian people, and they're always going like, and they faint or whatever. That's what I imagine it's like at Vice. There's like fainting couches.
The vapors.
Yeah.
The vapors.
They have fans, because they're always freaking out over something. Well, to shift gears a bit, I thought it'd be a good idea to share work stories.
Yeah. Well, we'll come up with a trendy name for this later.
Yeah. Something to get the kids involved.
Yeah, of course.
Something with like a cool intro and everything.
Oh, yeah. We'll have like a musical jingle.
Yeah. Because Richard and I have had, well, you've had the one job, but I've had several colorful jobs over the years. But even the job Richard has now is pretty colorful.
Yeah.
So I figured I would share a couple stories of when I worked at Starbucks. I worked at Starbucks for about 7 years. It was a fun job. I liked it. Mm-hmm. It's a great job while you're in school in your 20s. It's flexible. They help you out a lot. It's great. Mm-hmm. So don't think of this as like a slam dunk on Starbucks as, oh, it's terrible. Because that's one thing that always gets clicks. Like that Vice article, you always got to be like with the hate clicks.
The most anything. Yeah.
Right.
Starbucks is the most bad.
Yeah, exactly. But over the years, I had some pretty fun customer experiences, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
One thing that comes to mind is over the years that I worked there, I broke up about 2 fights. One, I was actually hanging out after my shift, and these 2 guys, well, first off, you know how you have a sense of your surroundings, and you just get that feeling like something is happening outside my peripheral vision.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the energy that's given off is different than what's going on. Well,
Absolutely.
that drew my attention to these two guys that were sitting at about my 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So not straight ahead.
Yeah.
I had to turn a little bit to see.
Yeah.
But still enough to make me realize that something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell that they were upset by their body language.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, why are you upset? Like, did somebody take a chair or whatever? And if I remember correctly, I think what it turned out was they call out, the drinks and the food and everything.
Yeah.
And I think both of them ordered the same type of sandwich. And
Okay.
one guy basically took the other guy's because he thought it was his.
Uh-huh.
And so it started to escalate. And I'm thinking, if the other guy just waited another 30 seconds to a minute, he would have his sandwich as well.
Yeah.
But, of course, it started to escalate. It's like, I took my sandwich. No, I didn't. Blah, blah, blah. And they actually started to, like, shove each other. So I had to jump up and go between them and be like, just wait another minute for your sandwich. The other guy just left all in a huff.
Jeez.
But then the other one was, so, we brew the coffee at Starbucks. This is when I was actually behind the counter working.
Yeah.
The guy wanted coffee, and since we brew it, you try and have that overlap time where you're brewing and the other one's still there. Well, we were busy and we ran out before we brewed it. So there was like a 5-minute period we didn't have coffee while it was brewing. Mm-hmm. Well, this guy came in that 5-minute period.
Yeah.
And this is the type of guy that needs to switch to decaf, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's already got the energy.
Yeah, you could tell coming in, he was already at about an 8 out of 10.
Uh-huh.
Probably going to die early of a heart attack type person. Already had the vein popping out of his head.
Yeah. Like,
Probably-
caffeine is his attempt to go down from, like, cocaine or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. He probably needs to switch to decaf.
Yeah.
Well, when I told him that, he got all upset and everything, blah, blah, yelling, whatever.
Out of coffee, not that he should switch to decaf.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I didn't say that. Just tell him it'll be up in, just a minute, and it's flipping out and everything. Well, the person behind him in line was a high school kid, probably like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
And because the Starbucks I worked at was by a high school, so it was common to have high school kids in there.
Yeah.
And so he gets all pissed off, and he like goes like he's gonna choke the kid, like that type of motion.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember. I don't think he actually like got his hands to him, but as soon as I saw him do that, I like yelled at him and told him, get out of there or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he just left in a huff. But I felt bad for the kids. I'm like, are you all right? Do you want a Frappuccino? He's like, yeah, sure. So he got a free Frappuccino out of it.
Yeah.
So if that's what you got to do for a free drink.
Just like
Small
have
price.
someone outside the store,
Yeah.
hey, threaten to choke me, and I can get a free Frappuccino out of this.
Right? I don't know. It just blows me away how high-strung people get and freak out about things.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't dealt with any high-strung people where I work, so I work at the nature center.
Well, yours is a calming place because it's nature.
Yeah.
Like people go there to... Right?
Yeah. I don't know. You meet some real wackaloons. Like, I was doing, we do like guided nature hikes
Right.
every Saturday and Sunday morning at 10:30.
Do you give the guide?
Yeah, I am the
Nice.
guide
Oh,
to
yes.
the public. I guide the public through nature.
Do you say the scientific names of trees and stuff?
No. I should start like making them up
You
though.
should. Nobody's going to call you out.
Yeah. This is an Ochocus triacus or something stupid like that. But no, like one time I was it was a hike. We were just kind of the standard trail. All of a sudden I look up ahead and there's this dude walking and he starts walking by and he's just smiling. The dude's wearing nothing but underwear. And he's like
Boxers, briefs?
Briefs.
Briefs, okay. He
No.
likes the support.
it was boxer briefs.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's good. That's what I like.
Yeah. so he's just walking down the way with a towel,
Huh.
and he had long hair, and he was well built. Like, this isn't like some homeless, like, scrawny guy that
Okay.
just was hanging out in the park. No, this was like some dude who like just came there in his underwear.
So he sort of had his act together.
Yeah.
It's not like some person who's on the fringe of society.
No.
Who's all scraggly looking.
Because the best part was, as he walks by us, like, I'm like just in shock of seeing the guy, and he just walks by, he's smiling, he goes, "Hi guys," and he just walks on his merry way. And I'm like, what are you doing? How did you get in here without us noticing? I'm like, I don't know. But,
And there's no places to change at your work or anything, right?
I mean, there's public restrooms in the parking lot.
So either he went there in his underwear,
Yeah.
which I doubt. He probably went there clothed. But that means he had to undress while he was there.
Yeah,
So he
because he
probably went to
wasn't
the-
carrying his clothes.
Interesting.
He was carrying a towel.
Okay.
So I don't know if he was swimming in our streams, which are like full of poison oak and like animal fecal matter. And I'm like, what do you?
And it's not like they're big streams either, right?
No. It's like a foot deep at most.
Yeah.
It is not like a wild river of gushing down. It is like a small trickle.
And you can do a nice hop over it, right?
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're not supposed to because, like, it's all fenced off and everything. But apparently, we're actually talking with one of my coworkers today. He's been there for 20 years. Like,
Okay.
he did what I did, which was attend camp as a child, volunteer there after he aged out of camp,
Nice.
then work there after he aged out of volunteering, and then he's just been working there since.
Nice.
Like, he's the manager of a ski resort. Like, he doesn't need to do this. He does it for fun.
Right.
But so he was telling me, yeah, there was some woman who was just in an inflatable raft, just sitting in the creek, the stream bed. Like, and again, this is not a deep.
Yeah, was she moving?
No, she was just like sitting there, floating in the stream.
Yeah, because it's such a small stream. How could you move through it?
I don't know.
So it's like she brought it and just sat there.
Yeah. Oh, and then apparently today, I didn't see this, but this woman comes in and is like, "Hey, I want to know. I don't want to be too pushy, but like, I'm not sure if this is safe, but there's a woman and her 2-year-old child just like playing in the stream." I'm like, "What?" Like, no, that's not safe at all. So we had to send one of our employees over there. He comes back, he's like, "Yeah, there was just a bunch of them just all playing in the stream." We're like, why? And there was also a wedding.
Now the
because we
stream
have
is fenced
weddings.
off, right?
For the most part, like there are
Okay.
some areas, but it's like a steep downslope where it's like, we shouldn't need to fence this
Right.
off.
You got to put some effort in to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, also, there's a wedding setting up 20 feet to the right of you where they were, apparently. But it's like, we're having a wedding and you're playing in the stream with your infant child. I don't know.
Were they part of the wedding?
I hope not. I hope not. I mean, if they were, that's... Pick your friends, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
I
man.
haven't had too many crazy weddings there.
Okay.
I think the only one that I've had that was like super weird was like everyone was like dressed like LARPing, like D&D LARPing. And they had like super serious face paint. My favorite part was like all the parents and like aunts and uncles who were not into it just had like,
Were they doing, like, fighting?
no, it was just the wedding like that.
Oh, wait. They did a wedding in the LARP style?
Yes.
That's amazing.
In their LARP costumes and everything, like they had like face paint and staffs and everything.
So it's like fantasy style?
Yeah.
It wasn't
very,
furries?
very much. No.
Okay.
No.
I can't imagine a furry wedding.
Oh, that'd be disgusting. But no, so they're doing this. But my favorite part was like all the aunts and uncles are like, they bought a costume at like, and some of them look like Columbus costume or just regular village costume or whatever.
Wait, so everybody got into it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
There was not a single person out of costume.
Wow.
correction. My actual favorite part was we don't allow dogs in the nature center,
Okay. Makes sense.
but service dogs are legally required to be allowed.
Yeah.
So
It's like on the plane, they have the service duck.
yeah. They got their dog registered as a service dog so it could be the ring bearer. But that's not the best part. The best part is this dog is a corgi. And it's wearing chainmail.
Oh, of course.
It's a chainmail wearing corgi, and I'm like, I need that. I need this.
I wonder if they got that on Etsy or what.
Or they made it. I mean, these people very much look like they would have made their own costumes. Like,
Wow.
absolutely, hands down, made their own stuff. So they could have made their own chainmail for all I know.
See, it's those type of people I appreciate because out there doing their thing, making chainmail for their corgi.
Yep.
Did you see this wedding, like, as it happened?
Yes.
So the corgi carried the rings.
Yes.
Was there some sort of special pillow or something?
No, it had like a pouch around its neck.
Okay.
Like a leather pouch that was just like a necklace around the dog.
Now, when the corgi was walking forward, did it get lost along the way?
No.
Oh, wow, this is a very well-trained corgi. It just
Yes.
went and did its thing.
So it might have been like an actual service dog. I don't know. But they I think they said like, yeah, no, we got this registered as service dog just so we could do it for the wedding.
That is amazing. Because I wonder if, like, it was a real LARPing priest, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just came out to watch tidbits, but they were playing like Star Wars and Game of Thrones and like Zelda music throughout the wedding. But yeah, that's probably the most interesting wedding we've had at the Nature Center. So,
Wow.
yeah. Anyway, we'll get to more stories in the near future.
Oh, gosh,
with,
trust me, I have hours and hours and hours of
Oh,
stories.
same. Yeah. I mean, I was going to go into a completely different topic with my work story, but then I just got distracted with shirtless man and weddings.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me, did you ever figure out where the shirtless man was going?
No, he was just heading back on the trail, I assume, out to the parking lot, but it's like,
Wow.
I don't know. 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning, you don't expect to see
Yeah, that is a little
a
disorienting.
nice man with good physique, shirtless, pantless, walking through.
Right.
So, I don't know.
It's amazing.
It is what it is.
Well, what do you think? Is it time to wrap this up?
I think
right.
we need Lawrence Welk to send us on our way.
All right, it's time. It's so wholesome. That's what I love.
It is. It's so pure, but it's also kind of creepy. Anyway.
All right, until next time.